The assignment on the link queries um, has two exercises. One where you are given a list and you have to basically format a series of queries to answer these questions. And the syntax that you need to use is query syntax, okay, which looks like this. Okay. For the second exercise, you've got a completely different set of classes and uh, data lists and a completely different set of questions. And you need to use method syntax, which is also called lambda syntax. And so here's an example of that. And this is pretty much what we covered this week in the lecture demo. So there's information in that. And then I've also included this little cheat sheet here. On the left, you can see we've got the query syntax, and on the right, we have the lambda or the method syntax. Okay, so between this and the lecture demo, you should be able to come up with queries uh, to answer all these questions. So I am going to help you a little bit get started. So here for the first one, you can pretty much name the project whatever you want. And as far as setting this up, you're going to take the class, copy that and paste that. And I put it right above the main method. And then for the list, you are going to copy that and paste that right inside the main method. And then below that list is where you can start doing your queries. Okay, and so we've got a class of famous people. And so what we are doing with this list is we are basically creating an object for each item in the list. So it's a different famous person. Okay, and so the way that we can retrieve data then is we can use the STEM people, which is our list, and then we can access these different names in our name value pairs here. Okay, so for the first one, and I think at least what I think is easiest is if you take the different requirements, I mean, you can literally copy them and paste them and then get rid of the letters and just make them into comments so you know what you're looking for. So the first one was retrieve people with birth dates after 1900. Okay, so you have to create your variable. And remember, that's going to store the query. You aren't going to get results until you actually do the for each. Okay, so here is basically how I formatted the birth year query. And I did change the color because you're going to have a ton of output with this. So I put in headings and then I did the for each. Okay. And then I also went ahead and did the second one just to show you. So here's the comment. And again, the format of this is very similar. And this one's a little bit tricky because we need to retrieve the people who have two lowercase l's in their name. So this is what we're looking for. And we want the people who have two of them. Okay, so here is the little for each where it iterates through. So I'll show you how this works when it runs. Okay, and it doesn't have, the L's do not have to be side by side. As you can see, Florence Nightingale does not have two L's in a row. So it's simply looking for two L's in their name. If we wanted two L's in a row, we would have to change the query a little bit. And we'd actually have to do LL. Okay, so, and then we would just want one occurrence probably of LL. But anyway, this is what you need for that particular query, and I will let you do the rest on your own. Um, so this is the first exercise. And the only problem students have really had, they've had some of these are a little tricky. So they've had to work to get them correct. Um, but I did have students doing the wrong query type, which is why I want to make sure that you guys know that the first exercise is the query syntax. Okay, and that is the syntax where you have from and select. Okay, so make sure that's the syntax you're using. For exercise 2, so this is going to be link method syntax, which is also called lambda syntax. So it's going to be setting up very similar. This will be above the main method, and then you will have these collections right inside the main method. Here is the method syntax. So this does have lambdas in it, why it's often called lambda syntax. And then these are the queries that you need to configure, okay, using the lambda or the method syntax. Right, so that is the assignment this week. If you do have any questions or if you run into problems, please let me know.